Completing this chapter, the learner will be able to identify the role of IMSAR Volume 3. Identify what communications procedures to follow when receiving a distress message. Identify communications required on scene. Identify the communications between the OSC and air facilities. Identify when cancellation of a distress message could occur. The International Aeronautical and Maritime Search and Rescue, IMSAR, Manual is made up of 3 volumes, each with specific search and rescue duties. The manual is published jointly by the International Civil Aviation Organization and the International Maritime Organization, IMO. Volume 3 must be carried on board search and rescue units, civil aircraft and ships, and is to provide guidance to those who operate aircraft, ships and other craft that may be called upon to support search and rescue operations. May need to perform on-scene coordinator functions for multiple facilities in the vicinity of a distress situation. Experience actual or potential emergencies and may require search and rescue, SAR, assistance. You should be familiar with this flowchart from IMSAR Volume 3. Following the correct procedures is important in an emergency. For instance, if you acknowledge a distress message too quickly, then confusion can occur, and valuable time may be lost in implementing a search and rescue plan. Take some time to study the flowchart. After you have acknowledged the distress message, obtain the following information from the distressed craft, if possible. The position of the distressed craft. The distressed craft's identity, call sign and name. The number of persons on board. The type of assistance required. The nature of distress or casualty. The number of victims, if any. The distressed craft's course and speed. Type of craft and cargo carried. Any other relevant information that might facilitate the rescue. The responding vessel should maintain contact with the distressed craft and advise the search and rescue unit about the situation. All available means should be used to keep track of the distressed craft at all times. The following information should be communicated to the distressed craft. Own vessel's identity, call sign and name. Own vessel's position. Own vessel's speed and estimated time of arrival to distressed craft site. The distressed craft's true bearing and distance from ship. The ship or coast radio station coordinating distress traffic should establish contact with the SMC and pass on all available information. This should then be regularly updated. The Search and Rescue Mission Coordinator usually selects dedicated search and rescue radio frequencies for use on scene and informs all relevant parties via the Search Action Plan. When only a small number of units are involved, communications may be kept on one coordinating frequency. In a more complex situation, with many units responding, then communications should be divided to avoid congestion. Take a look at the communications structure suggested by IMSAR. Distressed craft, the OSC and the Aircraft Coordinator, ACO, should use VHF channel 16. Other units on scene should use working frequencies for their own part of the operation. However, these units should also monitor the primary coordination frequency, if possible, to maintain an overall understanding of the situation. Other frequencies may be used as directed by the OSC for specific operations. All search and rescue facilities are required to carry a copy of the International Code of Signals and a copy of SOLAS 1, Life-Saving Signals and Rescue Methods. This is displayed on the bridge of every ship, indicating the visual methods of communications between search and rescue facilities and units in distress. It is also fully described in IMSAR Volume 3. The OSC should coordinate communications on scene and ensure reliable communications are maintained. In order to maintain reliable communications, it is important that when a frequency change is carried out, each party knows what to do if communications cannot be re-established on the new frequency. Another way of maintaining reliable communications is to have situation reports, SITREPs. The on-scene coordinator uses SITREPs to keep the search and rescue mission coordinator informed of on-scene progress and conditions. SITREPs are sent to the SMC unless otherwise advised. Search facilities use SITREPs to keep the OSC informed. SITREPs should not be delayed when waiting for confirmation of details. They should be issued as soon as other relevant information is obtained. Information already passed should not be repeated. During a long operation, a no-change SITREP should be issued. Each SITREP should be numbered sequentially, and a final SITREP should be issued as a confirmation. SITREP reporting forms are available in IMSAR Volume 3. Click on each form for more information on what is contained in each SITREP. Sometimes aircraft will be involved in the search and rescue operation, and it is important the OSC knows how to communicate with the aircraft. All search and rescue aircraft are equipped to communicate with ships and survival craft. They can communicate by using channel 16, VHF 121.5 MHz as a minimum. Droppable radios operating on 123.1 MHz and or channel 16 can be used for communication with survivors. Communications between the ship and a helicopter is usually done directly between the two. The RCC advises the on-scene coordinator that the helicopter is on its way and to stand by on channel 16. The communications that follow are led by the helicopter because they will know exactly what information is required for the situation. Civil aircraft do not usually have equipment to communicate with ships. However, civil aircraft can indicate their distress or intentions to ditch by lowering landing gear or flashing their landing lights on and off. The RCC will often assist in helping the aircraft by direct communications or by passing on messages. A distress message should be cancelled as soon as the distressed craft has been found and any survivors rescued, or when the assistance of search and rescue facilities is no longer required. Any false alerts, including those sent in error, should be cancelled so that search and rescue authorities do not needlessly respond. Apart from the self-assessment, this chapter is now complete. Before moving on to the next chapter, here is a summary of the key points from this one. Volume 3 of the IMSAR manual must be carried on board to provide guidance for search and rescue operations. Following the correct procedures for acknowledging distress signals is vital to avoid wasting time in search and rescue operations. The Search and Rescue Mission Coordinator usually selects dedicated search and rescue radio frequencies. Distressed craft, the OSC, and the Aircraft Coordinator, ACO, should normally use VHF channel 16. The on-scene coordinator uses SITREPs to keep the Search and Rescue Mission Coordinator informed of on-scene progress and conditions. Civil aircraft do not usually have equipment to communicate with ships. The RCC will often assist in helping the aircraft by direct communications or by passing on messages. Distress messages can be cancelled when the rescue is complete or when assistance is no longer required. False alerts should be cancelled.